I would say, characteristic that's developed underneath this is courage, because it requires courage to stand up for what is important to someone, for what someone has interests around, and expresses their thoughts and feelings about it.
Do you know what's in alignment for you? So in the day-to-day and the small choices, are you saying yes to the things that you like and want and no to the things that you don't? Or is it the opposite? Hey everybody, it's Bianca.
And it's Emilia.
Welcome to another episode of Evolve Ventures, where we are helping growth-minded humans evolve by breaking one limiting belief at a time. We hope you enjoyed the last episode, number 206. Are you being influenced by the right things? For today, 207, Motivation Monday, how to be more assertive. My good and dear friend, Emilia, is going to get us started on this one.
All right. So happy Monday. First of all, happy Monday. I want to start off strong here. Okay. So biggest thing when it comes to assertiveness that I have seen. All right. Coming out hot in the kitchen. Assertiveness is directly connected to the respect that we have for ourselves and the respect that we show ourselves. So an assertive person, when everyone close their eyes, metaphorically close their eyes if they're doing something that could actually hurt them, someone in mind that you have a lot of respect for. There's a high degree of probability that that person who you have a high degree of respect for respects themselves and asserts that respect in their every single day, in how they communicate with others and what they do. So I want to make sure that we all have a general understanding that to be an assertive person, it really is in the day-to-day actions where that person is showing to themselves and with others the respect that they have for themselves. And the real, I would say, characteristic that's developed underneath this is courage, because it requires courage to stand up for what is important to someone, for what someone has interests around, and expresses their thoughts and feelings about it. And that is the living example. This is directly connected to something that we spoke about in group coaching recently and on our IG lives that we do on Friday, which goes into the concept of self-worth. And I want to talk about that and encourage everyone to kind of, with this episode, one tangible takeaway that you can do is to have a baseline of where your self-worth is. So self-worth is a word that's directly connected to respect. It is your understanding and your expression of how much respect you inherently have as a human being. How much
for yourself.
For yourself, exactly.
Respect and value. How much do you respect and value yourself? I want to pause you really quick just for a second, because I really want to reiterate this point. The people we respect the most, when we think of a confident, assertive person, it is almost never the big, bolstering, loud, high energy people that we're thinking of.
Yeah.
You'll see someone like, I don't know, I'm going to use a very blunt example, like Meg the Stallion or Nicki Minaj, right? We see images of them and it's like, yeah, they're confident. They don't take shit from nobody. And it's like, that is not real confidence. That is not real worth and value. People who really have high worth and high value and high self-belief and respect, it's usually a really quiet confidence.
Mm-hmm. Truth.
It's those people who don't really have to say much, but when they do say something, everybody listens.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to make sure to reiterate that point, because I think a lot of people get tripped up on this, that in order to be confident or to be assertive, you have to be very confident and out there and dominant and whatever. And that's not the case at all.
Interesting that you say that, because I don't necessarily see confidence and assertiveness as synonyms, as very similar, going hand in hand. What I do see is respect. And there's this concept, and why there's this concept everyone's probably heard of: you can either be liked or respected. I am someone who chooses respected all the time over being liked. There's a part of us that all wants to be liked. That's okay. It's very hard for us to be respected because ultimately what I've found is that levels of self-worth vary between individuals and at different chapters in our lives. And I find that over time, the trend line of our self-worth doesn't necessarily go up unless we have people around us that help us respect ourselves. So when it comes to being assertive and how to be more assertive, I think it starts with getting a baseline of 0 to 10. Where do you feel as though your self-worth is? If 0 is you have 0 self-worth, you don't respect yourself, you do not value yourself, you're going to be at a 0. And how you can kind of get a gauge on this is like, do you feel as though you're deserving for your needs? If you have an inner thought of like, oh, it would be really nice to take a shower today. That's a very small, basic example. Would be nice. You want to clean up, whatever. Are you breaking that promise because you don't feel like you're deserving of the water or of that time for yourself or whatever it is, right? That's a very small example. 10, on the other hand, of high self-worth is you are so valuable and you have so much respect for yourself that nothing ever comes into question when it comes to what you want, your interests, your thoughts, your feelings. So all of our listeners right now, thinking of that scale 0 to 10, where do you feel as though your self-worth is right now? Is it on the lower end or do you find that it's on the higher end? Now, when you understand that baseline, you can understand, okay, now the respect that you have for yourself is likely going to be embodied in that number. So if you have a lower level of self-worth, the respect that you have for yourself is going to be matching that. Therefore, that's likely going to be the capacity, the limiter of how much assertiveness you're bringing to the table. When you have low self-worth, you have to stand up and fight for your rights and fight for your interests and fight for your own thoughts and feelings. You're likely going to shy away from those uncomfortable conversations. You're likely not going to establish boundaries with people. You're likely going to be more of a people pleaser than you are someone that says, honestly, this is not what's best for me and I'm not really interested. Thank you, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah. In order to be assertive, you have to believe that you're deserving of it. And that's built, again, through small, very actionable steps on the day-to-day. Are you making choices that are in alignment with yourself? Do you even know what that is? Do you know what's in alignment for you? So on the day-to-day and the small choices, are you saying yes to the things that you like and want and no to the things that you don't? Or is it the opposite? How can you in the day-to-day start making small choices that are right for you so that when the time comes where you do have to be more assertive with somebody and say, you know what, I don't think that's right for me, but thanks anyways, to what Emilia was saying, you've built up the skill set, you've done enough repetition to where you do feel like you can do that and you can do it well.
Yeah, B, I love that. So for all of our listeners, the tangible takeaway and what you can literally do as soon as this episode is done is ask yourself and answer this question. How can I show myself more respect today? What can I do to respect myself more today? And
Also,
in that what, answer it. One thing. It has to be small. Otherwise, it's going to feel overwhelming. Those small things add up. So answer those 2 questions. Share with us what you did and continue asking those questions every single day. And in the moment to moment, check in with yourself. I find that that's the people who check in on themselves around this area are those that have more and see more opportunities to be more assertive, i.e. to show themselves more respect. And what that is for you is going to be different from the person next to you. And that's okay. That's important. Episode suggestion. Hey.
Number 23, how to set boundaries.
Oh, so important. That's such an important
a
skill. And that is boundaries and setting them and establishing that is a demonstration of being assertive. And one cannot and will struggle with asserting boundaries if one does not respect self. Okay. So that's so, so important. And I'm glad you brought that to the table. My episode suggestion is 181 Motivation Monday, how to finally feel good enough. And I chose this one because it's directly connected to the self-worth thing. So that is that. I hope you guys have a great Monday.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody.